Welcome to Derry. It's always had a weird title, it. Because it could just be anything, I guess that's the point. Kind of like The Thing. This is a cool show. I pretty much binged it all at once. Definitely don't think it was as good as the movies, but go figure. I don't know, it took me a while to accept it, because I was like, do I really... The only reason why I gave it Chapter 1 and 2, I saw the old one like once maybe. I'm not even sure if I even bothered to like fully watch it or not, but the first movies, especially the first one, I only saw probably 2 or 3 times, and it was mostly like in the... Other than that first initial time, it was probably in the background or to sleep to or whatever. But I saw the first one multiple times because it was during a time where that's all I had to watch was DVDs, and I had X amount, so I just watched it. So I actually kind of got used to it, and I started to like it. The more I watched it, the more I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. It's cozy, it's chill, comforting, relaxing. It's a horror movie. I'm not crazy about Pennywise, but because I'm like, he's a clown. I don't know. Pretty stereotypical. It's not really... Well, it's creative, but kind of in this very... You know, you can give him different forms and shapes and all that, but he's still a clown. But someone's got to fill that spot, right? I know Art's been competing for that spot. There's actually an It shirt I could have got a while ago. I've been trying to get horror shirts for a while now, and I didn't get Pennywise because I was like, I'll just stick to Ghostface, Mike. If there is one, Hellraiser, Leatherface, Jigsaw. Those are a little harder to find, but some of those, or they're not as common. You have to kind of go out of your way to get them, unless you go to like the Spirit Halloween store, or online or something. But I kind of regret it. I kind of wish I got it now, because I think between the movies and the show now, I do like it that little bit much more, because it did expand on the movies a little bit. Actually, I saw a Paranormal Investigation episode of Bangor, where Steven lived, and supposedly that's where it took place or was filmed at or something, and it's like actually haunted and paranormal activity and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So that just kind of made me like it more. I actually watched that before watching this show because it kind of got me pre-hyped a little bit. I've been meaning to watch it, it's just I put it off for so long because I was like, do I want to go out of my way to just watch a bunch of kids ride around and do kid things, and I don't know. I guess it was different with part 2 because all the kids were grown up. It took that kid part out of it, which actually is what makes it good. But it's the very kid thing in like the 60s, whatever, and I'm just like, Just give me Pennywise, man, doing Pennywise stuff, dancing. I'm happy. But yeah, once I watched it, it was good. It was actually like the last thing on my list of kind of things to kind of get out of the way and watch, but it was good enough where I didn't want to like piece it out too much. I wanted to really try to enjoy it all at once in like a bundle. But yeah, some of the characters were about the same. They filled those same shoes as the kids in the movies, and which is good. It's good to have like that diverse the characteristics and identities and personalities and characteristics and all that. But yeah, I don't know. Did it need to be a show though? I think that's what a lot of these shows struggle on, is like there's just not enough to work with to be it's just not, they can only expand on something so much to where it's just like, I could have just been a 8-ish hour long movie or something. It doesn't, I've been saying this for so long, it doesn't work the same way as like Law and Order or X-Files or Supernatural or just something, and even that's pushing it. Something where there's always not so much like, oh, cliffhangers and hooks and oh, suspense and the betrayals and deceit and gossip. Those are kind of the main attributes of shows. Those are probably the worst things I like about it, but that's what makes the show. That's just how it is. I don't know how else to justify that. But in this, it's kind of like, you know, especially the trailer will have you going like, oh, there's all this like, it's kind of like, it reminded me of Them. It's like, oh, everyone's watching you, all eyes are on you, something's wrong here, suspicious, sus, sketchy. It was different. It wasn't something that I don't think was really in the movies at all. Kind of that part of it. I'm not even gonna mention it, but... And timeline-wise, I don't know if this is before the movies, after... some sort of timeline thing was going on. It's connected, though. And what was really cool, too, and this is... I found this out a while back before this, but I knew that this was also connected to some of other Steven's universes. So that was cool to see, like, those references. I don't know, there's not much to it. It's like there's kids, there's a clown, he changes, he does stuff. There were some parts where it got a little weird. I'm kind of glad they went there, but not at the same time. It kind of gave more backstory to Pennywise, which... I appreciate the effort, but I don't know. I don't know if it worked out very well. Because it just that's when it kind of got weird. You know, what I think what it did so well, if anything, was just keep it simple. And it's very not simple, but that it's so complicated and obtuse and out there that that's kind of all you can do at the end of the day. Just keep it tight and basic and easy. It's like you got this clown chasing after these kids. Granted, it's a nice, as much as I hate the kids thing, sometimes you do need a break from like, oh, teenagers, adults, and it's different. It's different to see how kids perceive fear and what they're afraid of. And I mean, that's been a thing forever, but it's always in like little pieces. It's never really expanded on as much as what it does. I know Pet Sematary kind of goes that same route, and like all of his stuff are kind of more or less the same, really. But yeah, I can definitely see why it is it's got to be his biggest thing. I mean, everyone's like, oh, The Shining and Cujo and Misery and blah blah blah. But I would, I mean, it definitely, it's iconic. It's gonna stand out a lot more than those other stuff, I guarantee it. But yeah, it was cool to see, like, he supposedly lived in this exact same town this is based on, and does it look like that today? How it is in the movies and stuff? I don't think so. Like, you think of modernization, I doubt it's still like one of those towns that's like a time capsule. Like you go to it and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm in a different time period or something. I didn't really pay too much attention to what the whole like town looks like right now, but it's definitely a thing. But it's interesting because it reminds me of the real place Silent Hill is based on, and there's always something to connect it to, whether it's all purely written in or filmed out, or it's actually inspired by, or something of that nature. It always does make it a little bit more interesting. Granted, I think that episode came out only because of this show, and some, they're just trying to cross-promote each other. Or really, it's the show. Like, oh, that's convenient timing, right? Because it came out about the same time. So I thought that was kind of like a little sellout thing, and especially what was depicted in the episode. It's like, it's a really believable show, and I'm really picky about my paranormal shows, because it's like, do I like the investigators? Do I like what they're saying? Do I like their style? Do I like what they're doing? Do I like the editing? Like, all these kind of different criteria things. It's a bunch of check boxes. Whether it's YouTuber stuff, or show stuff, or movies, whatever, documentary. So it's definitely from a source that I do believe in. But I was surprised at how much activity they got. I was like, dude, how bad is this place? Like, oh my god. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Whether it was... I'm sure with the whole movie coming out, or the show, it was implied. But I'm definitely surprised they haven't found out about that place sooner. And granted, it's a show that doesn't really cover like these mainstream places necessarily, like the Conjuring house and more of these like mainstream popular movie deals. They definitely do like overrated mainstream places, Penhurst, etc. But I was pleasantly surprised at how, like, between the actual place and the activity there and the movie, like, damn. Like, honestly, like, it's all about The Conjuring nowadays, but I'm more scared of this place. And then you think of the clown, you think of the fear. It's not just another ghost story, it's not just another paranormal yada yada. There's a little bit more depth to it in the sewers and the underground tunnels and the town, and there's a lot. Like, I would love to go there one day and actually try to, if I were to ever be able to travel and really film these places. But it's one of those things you see on a video or it just doesn't justify it enough. You really gotta go to these places and really find out, like, what the hell's going on. But yeah, it's cool between the show. There's just so much to connect to now. There's the movies, there's the old movie, there's the show, there's that episode I saw. Who knows what else is out there tied to all that. There's that shirt I wanted. It's just kind of this whole full circle 360 thing where obviously the more that I've been exposed to, the more I've been giving it a chance and getting attached to. And because to be fair, Terrifier art, he goes really hard, but it's almost too much, right? It's like, alright, I get it, it's very extreme, good effects and realistic, but he's so much more of a character. He actually says things, and you think of Bill, and like, I swear the only other movie I've seen him in was like that John Wick. I think it was definitely more poppin' when it got re-released and rebooted, and you got Bill with his eye thing, and he's a good-looking guy, and his performance, and like, I don't read into all that too much. Like, yeah, it's Bill, cool. I think his headpiece looks funny because it looks like it's just clearly attached on, and like there's cracks in it just to have a lazy excuse to, like, he's obviously wearing a cowl and stuff. Like, I watched a lot of special effects shows, and It's pretty simple too, just the makeup and then some contacts, some teeth things. It's really not that complicated, a wig. But obviously it's not really about his practical side, it's definitely more about the special effects and the creatures and things he turns into. And what I love about him is that you never know what he's gonna do next. He reminds me of Freddy in that way, where he has that power to just kind of be anything. And I think that definitely, in a way, has more to offer than just, oh, Jason's running around doing Jason things. Mike, Ghosty. But it almost gets too much to where it's like, okay, you know, clearly they're trying to do like every single thing they possibly can for the sake of just doing it. I definitely think there was some better forms of him in the movies. Specifically the one where he just gets like really big. That part, something about it, I don't know what it is. And it's not even really scary to me, it's more just interesting. I definitely think this time he went too... I think the movies did a great job of still keeping him as Pennywise, but he'll only change so much, but he still kind of keeps his identity a little bit. I think in the show and I respect the effort, but he almost had too much going on. It was just hard to keep track of it. It was confusing. It was very inconsistent. And I get what he's ultimately trying to do. Like, oh, he's trying to be the very thing you're afraid of, which I don't even think they did that well. Like, they didn't really dig too deep into what specifically these kids, more so, are really afraid of. They went in a deep way, but I think in ways that you didn't really care about. Like, oh, you know, it's my abusive parent. It's something so kind of too much on the emotional side. And one thing that made the kids good is they could be scared of anything, but it makes sense. It's something that could just be anything. It's not really some boring adult fear that's just like, eh. Because adults just aren't as interesting in that way. They're not as susceptible, and they don't feed into that as much. And there's all those things about how babies and kids can pick up on, they can see things, you know, like dogs. And yeah, and I just don't think the scenes or the pacing, I don't think they were as, it was kind of just, you might get one thing an episode, or you might get more the next episode, or they didn't really, there wasn't enough suspense. There wasn't enough of a build-up. Like, for example, the fat kid in the fatty in the first movie, when he's in the library or something like that. Or when Beverly's in the bathroom with the sink and the blood. And I think here it just felt rushed, which is funny because it's a show and they have the power to really fill that out, but what they did was make it worse. And this is why I say, like, movies are better, is because, yeah, those might seem rushed. They only have like a couple hours, give or take, but at least it's done right. That's the thing, and it's done well, and there's the quality part of it. But I think in here, because that's what we're all waiting for. We're like, oh, we're listening to them yap all the time, and kids, yada, blah, blah, blah. Which is good. I like the filler, like the things they talk about, the humor. You're getting different sides from the kids, the adults, whatever. But what we're ultimately here for, just like anything else, I don't care if it's Godzilla, King Kong, we're here for the monster, man. Where's the monster? Give it to us. Give me. Please. I don't... Granted, the beginning of the show definitely that's where they did somewhat succeed, is that they went by, they did start off really slow, really slow. Well, not like necessarily in the first scene, but just overall. And then it did amp up towards the end, and it had this like climax and finish and finale, just like anything should by that time. But they kept me waiting for a while, dude. I was really getting kind of impatient. Like I was about to, what I was guessing about near halfway was like, are they not gonna give me what I want till like literally the very end? Is that what they're gonna pull? Is like they don't do the big reveal until the last episode and then, oh, season 2, guys. Because that's what a lot of things do, which pisses me off. But or they'll bring back like an old character, reference, Easter egg, just to get you to come back. It's like, dude, if we watch the first season, we're probably gonna come back, man. It's not such a big decision nowadays. It's like, it's not like old TV where just time is different, and even though I think people had more time back then, it was more, and there was just less to watch naturally, but you were obviously doing like other things too. Now it's like, dude, odds are, especially for getting the service just for the show, we're probably gonna make use of that investment. I mean, that's just how it is. But I don't know, between the pacing, I think the pacing was just the worst thing, because not only the scary parts, but just kind of delivering, I don't know, it was weird. It was like not getting popcorn until halfway through the movie. It was just like, dude, if you're gonna get it at the beginning. Wait. I just think there was a lot of wasted screen time there. And I saw through what they were trying to do. They're like, oh, let's not give them what they want too soon, right? Let's fucking milk it. But it took a little too long. It was just kind of dragging out, and I was like, alright, guys. But obviously, eventually that did happen, and you were gonna stick to it and watch the whole thing eventually. It was different for me, because you know, there can be a very different perception when you watch it weekly versus all at once, or it's all out, but you do one episode at a time. However someone chooses to do it, the delivery method, it's just going to be very, that's what can really make a difference between how you come out of it and like, oh, that was good, or it's over, I'm glad it's over, or I don't know. That should never be a thing. And unfortunately that's been a thing for a while now, is like, these shows are really good while you're watching them, but when they're over, I'm pretty over it. There's really nothing that, like, I can sit there and be like, yeah, that was good, but you know, if anything, right after, I'm glad it's over, and then it might not be like a month later, then I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have like a season 2. Which obviously, usually those take a lot longer than like a month, but I don't know, the show was like, it was just passive. Granted, while I was watching it, I wanted more of it because it was good, and I thought it was very, I don't know, it's good and bad. Like, it was slow, but that's what made it good. But it rushed, but it didn't. It was just kind of all over the place. It was messy and chaotic, but it just felt good to have something to watch that was... This especially would have been great during October. I don't know, something other than Rings of Power, something other than House of the Dragon, something other than Last of Us, something other than Fallout, This is the only, like, horror show at least recently, that's been actually good. Or I think horror TV has a really unique place because, once again, I'd rather probably just watch a movie, or rewatch movies for that matter. And there's so much out there too that you can really kind of go hard on that. Like a show, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you do. Movies are kind of like, you know, watch it the one time, go to sleep to it, have it on the background. I'll literally put on like a movie I'm semi-interested in, and just, if I like it enough to even bother to like add it to my list or something, I'm gonna watch it. How I watch it's another story, but... Or like, ooh, this actually could be good, I want to give it my full undivided attention, or I want to be awake or not have a headache, or... You know, I want to feel good and give it my full respect. It's just gonna vary between each thing. But here, especially like watching in the middle of the night, it was just... Or, you know, hey, I got a new device or a tablet or something, and that makes it kind of exciting. It's just watching it on something that's a little more... Whether it's your phone or your TV or whatever, there's always so many ways to kind of make it an experience, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's what it should be. And obviously this is a show, so I can't even say, oh, it was at the theaters and I just didn't watch it, or just waited till to watch it at home. You can only watch this at home. So that's kind of another interesting, like, you can be in the comfort of your own home and watch it, and it's definitely worth it. Now, do I agree with... The thing is, if this... You know, every service only has like about one good show every so often, or one good movie or something. Was this worth the price point with where they are at now? By itself? Bundle or no bundle? I don't know. Streaming services are tough because you're gonna initially want this for that one show if you don't have the service already. But there's other stuff that keeps getting cycled out that you can watch, rewatch. Like, I'm just happy to always have something to watch. Anime, I don't care what it is. Streams. So I don't really care either way, and I usually only have like one thing going at a time. If not two. Maybe even three, but it depends on what comes out when. But usually it's only for that time, and then wait till it's done, and then, you know, get rid of it, move on. So, I don't know, like, the show's worth it, but it's not worth it in the same way as, like, you would like something else more. But as far as something to watch, it's worth it. But let's say I like Lord of the Rings more. I'm probably gonna be more excited for Rings of Power, and I'm probably gonna be more incentivized to cough up the funds to be able to do that versus it. But it's one of those things, it's just doubting it. Like, once I watch these things, I end up being pleasantly surprised, but that's also just not a good thing if you're hesitant about it too, and it shouldn't have to be that way. You should, like, you either want to watch it or not, and you don't really have much of a choice. If you want to watch it, there's only one way to do it, so you either kind of have to do it or no. Now, convenience is another thing, like, can one afford it? All these things. It's really got to line up. Are you going to have the time to do it? Granted, these high production shows now are pretty short. 8-10 episodes, which is more than fair, especially if they're roughly an hour long. So, you know, you're not investing too much into it, similar to like, hey, I'll sit down, watch a movie for 2 hours. But that's also pretty rough when it's like, okay, now I have this month's worth of this thing, and someone, you know, has paid X amount to get this thing, to have access to it at all. And then you watch the show, whether it is all at once or is spaced out, and then you're like, okay, now what? Now I'm stuck with all this junk. It's not hard for me to always find something to watch, but I can imagine just from another person's perspective, like, ugh. Okay, I got what I wanted out of it, you know, move on. But some people don't take watching things nearly as seriously as I do, so they're more focused on real stuff, real things. But it was pretty good. Yeah, a little bit of humor. Good old jump scares. The effects look great as usual. It's pretty much everything you'd expect. I mean, the trailer kind of gives it all away. It's like, yeah, old-timey, the usual suspect, Stephen King. Been there, done that, seen it 1,000 times. But once again, the only thing that really kept me watching was, other than it just being good overall, was what is he gonna do next? What's Pennywise gonna do next? That's what I think. That's the main course. So thankfully, there is plenty of that. Like many shows, I don't really feel like it's rewatchable. Fuck, I don't think there's been a whole lot of anything I've rewatched. All these shows just in the past 6 years now. I don't think I've even bothered. But when there is a season 2, I'm all over it. Season 3, whatever. Which I don't feel like a lot of these shows even make it to that. Like, honestly, for a lot of these to even get to season 2, they definitely do well enough, but you never know either. Like, fuck, you'd think they'd be getting their money's worth, they're breaking even or profit or something, right? But I just don't really know how that works in this kind of at-home box office type deal. Which is funny because you think of HBO. You know, there's royalties to think about. I don't even really understand it all. There's obviously some kind of like system, but because they one thing about all these shows, the more I watch them, I'm like, dude, these are all just really good. Like, the production quality is outrageous, and for the prices they're asking for, they better fucking be. But there really hasn't been any disappointing, like, these are obviously much more, like, these are things that have been out forever, they have movies, there's definitely a standing and a reputation. All the Star Wars shows, which, wow, there's been a lot of those. Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. I'm just like, damn, man, these are like really good. Like movie quality style. And to be fair, with the whole streaming, with the services and with the price points and with it being a show and all these different layers, I can definitely see why they go that direction, because they kind of have to meet that standard, that movie standard. I don't know though, it makes me wonder though, like, is this just gonna keep going on, like, all these shows? Is this gonna be forever? I mean, the outbreak's been over for a while now. Is this just a thing? No more Redbox, now we get, it went from Netflix in the mail to Redbox to this, basically. That's not even just movies overall and digital, physical, and shows and cable and dish and satellite. Oh, that's that's so far back now, but it's a weird thing to think about moving forward. Like, is this it? I'm not complaining, but is it just like a phase? Is it like a 10-year plan to the industry? I don't know. They're still coming out with movies, but why have I been noticing more shows than movies lately? There's been some good, decent movies recently, but man, they're coming out a lot less. I don't know if that's tied. I mean, are people going to the movie theaters now? I don't know. I realize shows are just cheaper to make, but I kind of just miss the movies. Just bring those back. We've been doing this whole streaming service show thing for how long now? Like, as good as all of them are, I feel like they're just delivered in just the same way over and over. It's really repetitive. And I think if they started to focus back more on the movie side of things, that'll really shake it up a bit and mix it up and spice it up. And as far as gaming goes, even, like, when's the last time there's been like a decent licensed game? Or when has there ever been, to be honest? But now you have a relationship between a lot of games and movies now too. Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, and shows. There's been quite a bit of that semi-recently, in the last few or so years. I don't know, they're definitely still like, I don't know, I don't really know what's going on over there, you know? Like, do they have the star power? Is that the problem? Is it... I don't know. It's obviously a thriving business. It's just gonna go on forever. Like, it's never gonna die, but... it's just weird. You have all these different ways now. I don't know if that's... And when you think about that, it's like, dude, technology hasn't changed a whole lot, or... we're getting better, stronger devices, better looking screens, connections, all these things, but there's nothing. Here's one thing games and consoles do well, for example, is like, you really see that evolution. Like, all these new shows and movies are coming out, but there's no like mind-boggling device to watch them on that's not something you would have already had, and it's just like, eh. Granted, at-home theater systems, like, I can imagine are pretty nice, but having a big old TV, I guess there's 8K to think about, if that's even... if you can even be able to watch anything on that or not. I know there's only like a few games that even do that have that capability. But it's just like, people are just using big old TVs, sound bars. Like, there's nothing to really correlate to these shows or movies that's gonna make it even more, other than it just simply coming out. There's nothing to really tie it to. Like, give me like a hologram phone or something, and ooh, there's new... I don't know how that would work, tying in the new device to like a movie or show. I guess with gaming it's a little different, but it's all like when Avatar came out, like in the theaters, that was huge. There's IMAX to think about. Now they're doing all this IMAX enhanced stuff. There's 3D to think about. Like, where... I don't know, it's just kind of stale at the moment. It's really static, and just not a whole lot going on with all that, is there? But that's just such a beside the point thing. That's not even the important part of it. I want them to still come out with stuff regardless of devices that can have some sort of relationship with all this, and just keep giving me more shows to watch, more movies to watch. Like, it's my cozy space. It's my me time. So, and they've definitely been doing that. And this is one of many shows to kind of just add on to that roster now. Which I don't know if that's good or bad, but... yeah, cool. Welcome to Derry. Hiya, Georgie.